everyone, and welcome back to the one, the only, the WyOriginal podcast. You are here once again with your host, Jared Burton.
Angel Maldonado.
We on.
Dominic Syracuse.
Next.
Oh, my God.
Man. It never fails, man. You know, we just got to keep it. This is Johnny Campbell.
This is Johnny Campbell.
You know what I'm saying? He's actually excited to be here today. Let's go. Let's go, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're recording this on April 30th, 2023. Just want to again say thank you to everybody that supported the first 3 episodes. We're looking good. Everything is rolling like it should. Getting information out to the masses. Letting everyone know about the upcoming events. And if we never stated that in the previous podcast, that was pretty much our goal as we all got together. That was pretty much our goal, was to promote all the local events that was going on, all the local talent, local artists, you know, whatever. If you got any kind of talent that's going on or business, you know, we wanna be involved. We wanna let everyone know that you got this stuff going on.
From what I understand, the reviews are rolling in of the podcast. I understand, we're getting so much love, which is really great. We're getting so much support, which is really great. And apparently we're getting heckled by 8-year-olds. Is that what's going on? Woo!
If y'all don't know, I teach at Act 2 Studios. And one of my dance students come in on Thursdays, and she goes, "Hey, I heard you had a podcast. My mom, my dad found your podcast. Like, oh, that's amazing." And I was like, thank you. Like, what do they think? And she goes, "Oh, they love your podcast." She goes, "But I think you're trying too hard."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. All right. That's good advice.
Okay.
From an 8-year-old. I'll pocket that. I'm gonna use that on that. So I'm gonna try not to try too hard on this one. So.
Well, I don't think we can stop trying to. Well, we don't try to do anything.
Yeah.
We do on this show.
Listen.
I appreciate that, though.
Listen, I've made a career off of trying too hard. And it's so funny, man, because I've gotten, I started doing stand-up. My first stand-up I ever did was in like 2010. That was a long time ago.
Wow.
You know? So at this point, it's like 13 years ago. And I was fortunate that I've never, ever had a heckler, you know? Now, see, I'm going to say that on... And now people are going to come to the show just to scream shit out. But no, like I never had to deal with that, you know? But the thing was that, I never had that happen until I started putting stuff online. Right. And then the second I started putting stuff online, man, it was just the stuff people would say. You know what I mean? Like, the worst one I ever got, man, this just messed me up, was I put out some joke on YouTube Shorts or something. I, filmed myself, here's something about my... And then I put whatever stupid shit I say. And the thing
what time is it?
Yeah, sorry. We were just talking about how this is a family show. Anyway, the thing is is I say that, and then some dude comments, right? And says, for anyone out there who's feeling down or depressed or like you don't matter in the world, just remember, at least you're not this guy. I was like, wow. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Oh man. People throw it out. But you know what? It's like we were talking about. I think a big thing is that's actually a sign of success. Because that just shows that people just want to be a part of it in some way. And even negative attention is still attention. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. I mean, everybody wants to give some type of contribution back, right? They want to talk about, hey, this was going good. I like this. So I don't know. It's like a nice way, you're listening and watching too, huh?
That's right.
Thank you. So you got to take it all in, man.
We'll take it. The good, the bad. Tell us how you feel.
I look at it as all great. You know what I mean? Because it's information back, right? You're getting something back. Right. So we're giving and we get something back. So it's all great.
Floyd and I think we talked about this. Floyd Mayweather said, when they asked him, oh, you got all these haters, they say you're not a real boxer. He's like, look, 50% of that audience came to see me win. 50% of that audience came to see me lose.
That's a fact.
100% of that audience came to see me.
That's
so,
right.
at the end of the day. So, again, whether you here to heckle, go help him. Go to his show. Or to support. Hey, thank you for watching. So
thank you. You're far too kind.
You're far too kind, man. And I have to say, like having an ounce of fame is really funny in the town because this is a true story, man. It's a true, very, very true story. The other day I went to. Sorry. The other day, yeah. The other day I go to the bank. This is absolutely true story, right? And I go to the bank, and the teller there like sees me, and he goes, "Are you online? Like, do you do stuff on like YouTube and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude, I watch your stuff." He's like, "That's crazy." And I'm like, "Thanks, man." He's like, yeah, I just moved here from out of town, and like I saw your stuff, and like, yeah, he's like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, nice. "That's amazing." He goes, "Can I shake your hand?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, sure." And then, shake his hand and everything. He's like, "This is just an honor." He's like, "Sorry, I'm a little starstruck." He goes, "What can I help you with?" And I said, "Oh, I need to deposit this check for $3.14.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what that, so it's humbling.
Facts of life, man.
He was like, I'm gonna add a couple change in there. Let's just make it 5. I'm gonna help you.
I'm gonna help you. I want to get into business, but let's get to some of this local wild news because we're getting a little too excited. How you feeling, Johnny?
I'm good.
You good? Okay, cool.
I think that's the calmest I've ever seen Johnny answer a question.
Let's get it going on,
real
man.
quick. What's up? I'm just stealing this mic. Before we're starting, Johnny's taken to calling me Dominici, which I have to say I love. Like, I really, really love that, man.
I love paint myself.
Yeah, exactly. Make me feel like an artist from like the Renaissance era, because like my whole life people have always gotten my name wrong. You know what I mean? It's always been like it's always been like Donamic or and then growing up kids make fun of it, you know what I mean? Like Domadick or whatever. Like that's the ones I got. That's the ones I got all the time. And but the thing is the second you're like, Dominici, I was like, how am I 34 years old? And that's the first time I've heard that. It's so empowering, man. I feel so good.
Get you some.
And it's fitting, man. Like I was saying, I'm Italian and Jewish, which are two cultures united by their complete refusal to shut the hell up. So that is just really, it makes me feel good. I'm going to keep it forever. I appreciate that, man.
Hey, bless you. Now, I want my cylinder to be painted. That's all
That's
I
it.
want.
There it is. Get you some canvas, some paint brushes, and some paint.
Amen.
And make a nice form of art. There you go.
All right.
Dominici.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah, let's get it, man. Local news.
Local YO news. Start off with big news. LCCC Esports Warzone 2 team wins national championship.
Let's go.
Now,
and they say video games won't get you nowhere. I don't believe you.
And it's funny. It's funny. Like they really wanted you guys to understand. Like, and like I think we all play video games. I'm sure most of our listeners play video. You don't play video games at all? None.
Listen, I kind of do.
Sometimes. Like what's kind of?
Like very humbling.
I've known Andrew for a long time. I did not know that he didn't play video games.
I mean, my kids, I'll get on there once in a while, throw a couple passes. I'm not into all the games like I was when I was younger.
I feel
what I mean?
Okay.
I'm a Mario guy, Duck Hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came from that. You know what I mean? Altered Beast on the Genesis system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that's my wife. We got a Switch for the kids, and the one game she wanted was Yoshi's Story. I was like, okay.
Oh, and don't forget Zelda.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's just, shout out to the video games. Video games have been changing the game tremendously. And even in your children, don't be on that video game all day. And then now these kids are paying for their rent, their mortgage. They're taking care of their parents now. So shout out to video games. My kids are always on them.
But huge shout out to, and I apologize if I say your guys' names wrong, because if you could see these names I'm about to say, y'all will understand. But it was a two-man team: Andrew Santhuff and Demetrius Chronolopius. Brother, let me tell you something.
They gonna paint my house
I hope I said your last name right, but if not, I do apologize. So long story short, though, these guys went up against North Central Missouri College. These guys are apparently #1, and they wiped the floor with them.
Wow.
They wiped the floor with them. So this is the second national championship for the esports for LCCC. They've only been around for 2 years. Wow. And 2 years in a row, they've won some kind of national championship in esports. This is the first time a national championship has come to LCCC since like 1991, which I guess they have like some kind of golf team at LCCC. So shout out to LCCC.
Shout out to y'all for sure.
Shout out to JJ O'Brien, the Pathways coordinator there.
Let's go.
And then shout out to Andrew and Demetrius on your national championship and bringing some love to Laramie County.
Congratulations, fellas. Thank you for making video games fun.
That's so a couple things. First of all, I gotta see how to say it. How do you say this guy's name? Let me see. Where is it? Show me. It's Demetrius Chronolopoulos. First of all, you sound like you should be a character in Gods of War, right? Demetrius Chronolopoulos. That's like the final boss. You have to like, oh shit, I'm going up against Demetrius Chronolopoulos. That's amazing though. But here's the thing that I have to say, which is just great. I mean, because you know the world's changing. I mean, I'm sure there was a time when someone's like, you know, like when baseball started, and there's all these parents like, you need to stop wasting your time with that game, you know. And then it started, you know, people started getting scholarships for it. The first I heard about it, shout out to my dude. He's a great artist in town. He's a rapper. He makes fly TikToks. He's excellent. And his name is Mark Onwuka Jr. We call him Wuka. Great artist. But the thing is like, I was talking to him and he's like, yo man, I'm going back to school. And I was like, that's great. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got a scholarship for playing Super Smash Brothers. And I was like, what? But here's the thing that you got to understand. I know there's some people out there who might be like, what? Like, how can you get a scholarship for playing Super Smash Bros? But the thing is, first of all, anything that's competitive, people can have tournaments for it.
That's a fact,
right? And then if it's not, even if it's like competitive, whatever, if people will pay to watch you, you're generating income for the college, you're generating income for the economy, you're generating income for whatever. So it doesn't matter what it is, so long as you can get an audience and people who can do it well. We got it. And now we're living in a time where, like, I think it's cool that you can get a scholarship for playing video games. And it also doesn't surprise me that Cheyenne kicked ass, because we live in a town where we have 9 months out of the year to practice because we're snowed inside. It's too cold. These dudes have been playing this game. They've literally been training since they were 3 years old. I know it. I don't know how old they were, but I'm super proud of them. I think that's badass.
Are these some WyOriginals or some home away from home WyOriginals?
You know, I'm not sure.
Because I don't know, when they do these tournaments, do they have jerseys? Because that's a pretty
from what I understand, I think that Andrew is a WyOriginal. Andrew Santhoff is a WyOriginal, but Demetrius Chronolopoulos came from whatever mountain Zeus lives on. So I think that's where he's from. Yeah, Mount Olympus.
I think this is pretty cool. I actually never knew that this was, so it's esports.
Esports
is the category of playing games.
Just
and you enter by schools, or
by school,
it's all by colleges, right?
Yeah.
So now my kids that love video games have another opportunity rather than just shooting the ball or playing football. Now they can start looking into like, well, if I play these games so good, I might get a scholarship to college. Dad, now because I'm so good at this game, and I can join this team. So I think there's a greater opportunity I'm seeing involved in this whole movement that I didn't know about.
I know we talked last episode about AI and how things are changing. Yes. But you tell me, 20 years ago
that's
when I was
cool to me, man.
You tell me 20 years ago, hey, you can get a scholarship to play video games. I'd have been like, bullshit.
I'm almost ready to go buy the flyest remote control,
right?
The most customizable featured box, just so that I can inspire my kids to, if this is one of your last hopes of a chance to exceed in this world, through a video game.
It's crazy.
I'm not upset.
I'm not upset at that.
What
you got, Johnny?
That's pretty cool.
Hey man, I got a question. AI is not the only affiliate.
No, not Allen Iverson.
No,
not Allen Iverson.
Not basketball. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would not be nice to see AI play basketball. But yeah, it's
but,
artificially intelligence.
The Golden Eagles finished the season overall record 10-1, and like I said, so this is the only national championship team from Laramie County. Wow. Since the men's golf team won titles in 1991 and 1992, and kudos to them because I didn't even know they were.
Honestly, I'm impressed because I never knew nothing about them.
No, it's that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Great, yeah. That's just I'm impressed, man.
And what was your buddy's name that played Super Smash? Because I played Super Smash Bros. A lot when I was a kid, so I might want to challenge him, see what I got, see if I get a scholarship.
Oh man, Wuka, man, and Wuka's super fly. I wish I should have looked up his handle so you could check out his music, but he does hip hop. He's got such an original flow.
I don't know this cat.
We'll have to get him on the show.
I mean, has he been in the shop before? Has he done a funeral Friday? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Here's the thing. I knew him back, when we were younger, and then when I was doing stuff downtown, like when we were doing the hip hop nights and the music nights and all that stuff, he'd come out, and this guy's his flow is so much more unique than any flow you'll ever hear. It's almost like it's almost old school, like early 80s 90s kind of thing, to where I can't explain it in any other way. You just kind of have to hear it. It's super unique, it's super clever, and he's super funny, and he is huge. Like, I mean, I don't know how truly tall you are, but if based off when I'm next to you looking up, I would say you're at least 9 feet 6 inches tall. Like, he's a big dude. You know what I mean? So anyway, he's sick, and he was on the Super Smash Bros. Team, and so there's a bunch of cool opportunities out there for that, and it makes me wonder what's gonna happen in 20 years. Like, I wonder if there's gonna be like a who makes a best TikTok scholarship, like who's what you know what I mean? You're kidding me.
So it's not who makes the best TikTok, but they do have. There's a lot of elective courses now where they teach you how to be social media influencers or how to be a social influencer better. They'll teach you about angles. And honestly, even though it sounds like it's like, oh, that's crazy. You teach me how to be on social media. The stuff that you can learn on it, like, camera angles, editing things and stuff like that. I'm like, this is stuff that you could use to actually, do some powerful stuff, So, I mean, so there is kind of some stuff like that. So.
Yeah, well, check this out. This is true. Like, I remember, so I went out to LA to pursue acting, right? Acting, And the funny thing was like, at the time, 5-10 years ago, if someone was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of TikTokers, there's a lot of YouTubers, there's a lot of all this stuff, I was like, psh, that's beneath me. I'm trying to be a thespian, which, my dad still thinks I came out of the closet to be. Anyway, that was the thing. But then I asked my son. Now, my son, he's always been into like science and all sorts of stuff. I mean, since he was 3 years old, he'd tell me stuff. He'd be like, Dad, do you know it rains diamonds on Jupiter? And I was like, sure, yeah. And it rains Skittles from rainbows. You know what I mean? He's like, no, Dad, it's condensed carbon and the atmosphere actually makes diamonds. And I looked it up and he was right. I was like, you're going to be a scientist. And he goes, actually, I want to be a YouTuber. Nice. And I'm like, man, I was against it. I was against it until he showed me that mid-range to successful YouTubers make 6 to 7 figures a year. And now I'm a YouTuber. That's what I do. I've literally given it up to do it.
It's funny you bring that up because I'm like looking at Jared's phone like, I gotta look this up. I gotta highlight this guy real quick, right? Because I've known about him since I've been out here, right?
Okay.
His name's Sean. We're talking about YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Grape applesauce, Minecraft guy.
Okay.
And I'm looking him up, and this guy from Wyoming, right? He's got 1.36 million subscribers.
Damn.
2.1K videos.
Okay.
On Minecraft. Grape applesauce.
Right.
My young guy here, and he's been doing like phenomenal work ever since I've known him. And then I was talking about video games and stuff. And this is a WyOriginal guy right here.
I'm telling you,
Grape applesauce.
Great, is
his
it
name's
Grape
Sean.
Applesauce?
Yes, and
Sean, love it. Check him out. Follow him. But I'm guaranteeing
we're talking
you
about all this great stuff, and it's just like, I do remember this young guy out here.
This is my thing. Is I really believe that the internet, that YouTube, that all of this is the new frontier. You know what I mean? It really is, because for a couple reasons. One, my sister, when she was going to high school not too long ago, she's only like 20 years old, but there were these two dudes driving around in Ferraris in Cheyenne. And the thing was they were young kids, and they just invented, like, there was like this slime.
About the slime. Those guys have killed it.
Yes, these dudes.
They flavors of smell,
right?
Different textures.
And
I was cutting the guy. He brought me saying, like,
yeah,
see a kid,
dude, and these dudes are like millionaires.
Beyond millionaires off of slime.
And they were just 12, like 13-year-old kids playing around, doing little science projects, but they were able to take it
in the garage,
bring it online, make something out of it, because once again, there's a market for it. Facts. And now they're successful. Or another one, like, this is a true story. You know, so like I said, I studied acting my whole life. I went and I got a master's degree, and I went to LA, I grinded, I did all this stuff. And then I had a friend, I came out here, and she has a YouTube channel, right? And she just does YouTube. She's great. She's funny. She's charismatic and all that stuff. Her name's Footless Joe. Check her out. She's awesome. She had an amputation leg down, and her whole YouTube channel is about that, right? And just about her doing badass stuff. Like, she goes rock climbing and like running and stuff. Anyway, she's cool. But the thing was, she gives me a call, and she goes, Dom, I need your help. I was like, what is it? She goes, I got an audition, and I've never acted before in my life. And so I need you to coach me on this audition, you know, because I know you like know a lot about acting and stuff. And I was like, sure. And I'm thinking it's like a small community play or something like that. You know, she's literally never done it before in her life. And I was like, what's it for? And she goes, oh, DC Titans on HBO Max.
Wow.
And I was like, what? What? And I was like, wait, is this like an open call? Can anyone do it? And she's like, no, apparently I've been requested by the producers themselves. Nice. They saw the YouTube channel, and now they're asking for me and all this stuff. And I was like, what? Like, I know people who have been in LA for 20 years that haven't gotten there. I know people who have grinded and haven't gotten to that step. I know a guy named Dominic who's been fighting.
He's a 12-year-old genius.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years to get something like this, and I didn't know, you know. But no, she skipped the audition process, everything, because that's where the casting directors are looking. Coached her on the audition. She's amazing. She's so talented. Nice. And then, you know, of course, doing the YouTube channel, she's very comfortable in front of the camera, very comfortable speaking. But she lost out on the audition. Get this, to someone else who does the similar content on TikTok that's got more subscribers than she does. That's who ended up getting the part. So my point is, this is where the industry's going. And now, if you're in anything, if you're in real estate, if you're in banking, if you're in whatever business you have, they're like, get on YouTube, get on TikTok, get on Instagram, put your stuff out there, do all this, like, get seen in this space, because that's the space where people are.
That's a fact, man. It all comes down to social media, right?
That's where it is nowadays.
The program of, get down with this, get down with that. And we're slowly understanding that, and it's all about your followers. What is it that your network determines your net worth?
Yep, that's it.
So, but yeah, shout out to Grape Applesauce. I was just talking about this great stuff. Sean, his name. It was just great. We're talking about these video games, these opportunities that people look at and shy like, that's never gonna make it. That's never gonna, you know, like, people just look at that and just be like, yeah, you're never gonna make it.
We are now the parents that said rock and roll was for the devil and it's never gonna take off. You know, we're those parents now. Like, oh, that's not gonna take. Rock and roll's for the devil. You're going to hell. And now, you know, and then rock and roll took off, and then, you know, and then our parents will rap. You know, but yeah. Shout out to Grape Applesauce, and I was looking at his numbers. He joined YouTube July of 2011, and since then he had 285 million views.
I'm just saying, man.
That's crazy.
I've been working. We did a little work in the studio with him as well. Yeah. Shout out to Toon. Gotti, he does great music. They've actually did something together, a Minecraft video for music. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool. That was really fly. Like, he made it like the whole video is him going through a game of Minecraft. So I don't know, just you gotta show love to these people who are doing great things in these categories that people think you're just failing.
I think I think this goes to say that it goes to show that, man, like, nowadays you have to fit like into this mold, like, to get famous. Like you said, you have to be good at acting, singing, basketball, football. Now, honestly, man, if you are really talented at something and you have a passion about it, you can get famous doing it, even if that's not your goal. If you're really good at something, man. So if you got a kid out there that just, hey, Mom, I like to make dirt pies. Let the kid make dirt pies. You never know.
But keyword what you said, Jared, passion.
Passion.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people forget that. A lot of people, when they do things like this, got so much passion. That's why they excel so much quicker than the person thinking about it.
Well, that's it. And you know what's funny, man, is that, like, first of all, I used to have a lot of guilt, believe it or not, about being an entertainer, coming from Cheyenne, seriously, believe it or not. Wow. No, I did because I had it in my head that, like, in order to make a living, you got to, like, work with your hands or like do something meaningful or like something like that. And the fact that I'm like, yeah, I like tell stupid jokes and get paid for it. There was like this thing of like, it's not a real job, and that was reaffirmed by my parents. Anyway, no, my parents are cool and supportive. But the thing is that I was like worried about that. But then the thing about YouTube and everything like that is that actually, right now, when I say it's a new frontier, like, I know dudes who have catapulted, like, for instance, let's say they're a mechanic and they love being a mechanic, right? Well, here's the thing. Here's what you go online for. Here's what you go on the internet for. Number one, entertainment. Right. Number two, education, right? And so here's what I mean. I know a dude who went from just being like a part-time mechanic because he just loved to work on cars and then doing a day job that he hates to being like having a 6-figure mechanic business, because what he did is he goes on YouTube and TikTok and is literally like, hey, are you having troubles with your carburetor? Right. Here's how you fix it. And he films himself fixing it. Or like, hey, are you having trouble with this? Let me show you how to fix it. And he goes and does it. And that, like, how many times have we, be honest, as adult men who are supposed to know shit, like with the family, like, hey, the garbage disposal's broken. How do you fix a garbage disposal? Bro. And then watch a dude on YouTube do it.
YouTube University is the free college for everyone who has issues, problems, or concerns.
I think this was my last haircut. I was just telling Angel that I was on YouTube looking up how to make my grass greener, and literally, I'm talking about for months.
I'm telling you, bro.
For months, like this dude, and I'm watching videos, like, and I'm taking notes, literally, like I'm in a class, like, okay, so you want to dethatch, like, and I'm taking notes on
real.
it. It's real though. Like,
YouTube University, bro.
You can learn anything you want. Anyway, but shout out to Andy and Thanos' son Demetrius on your
let's go
your esports championship.
That's a fact. Shout out to video games, man.
That's good.
That was good, man. Shout out to the video games.
Other local Wyoming news and upcoming events. You got the United Way of Laramie County's 75th anniversary gala.
Nice.
That is on May 12th. That's going to be a huge event. Boys and Girls Club, Back a Kid Breakfast. That is on May 9th, that morning on May 9th.
Nice.
If y'all know, I'm a big supporter of Boys and Girls Club. I do Dancing with the Stars. I've done Dancing with the Stars the last couple of years.
That was hot.
So I will be at the Back a Kid Breakfast. It's a huge fundraiser. This year's speaker is Ryan Harris. He's a former football player, played for the Broncos, Eagles, Houston, Texas. So he's gonna come give a speech. If you have any interest to check him out, the event is free to go to, but it is a fundraiser, so they will ask you to donate and support or something like that. But
nice.
I don't think this would be my third year going. Every year they always have a good speaker, and it's always a good speech, So
nice.
If you have the time, it is an early morning, 6:30. I think is when the buffet starts. The event starts at 7. But anyway, Back a Kid Breakfast. That's on May 9th. Fridays on the Plaza kicks off.
Let's
on
go.
May 5th.
Let's go. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. You know why I'm so ready for Fridays at the Plaza? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm on the strip of the Plaza, right?
There you go. Brings business.
What I love, business and more than just that, I like having my door open, right?
I like that.
That's why I'm from New York, right?
Yeah.
And I just like the sidewalks, the streets. They call them bums, I call them people. You're dealing with all this like life, right? You feel it, you open that door, you hear cars go by, the horns honking. And then this amount of people just walking. Right?
Yeah.
It's like we outside again. We outside. You know what I'm saying? And you just see everybody just pulling up. And that's what I enjoy the most about it. Just seeing all the people just coming together, chilling.
Angel, check it out.
So I'm excited.
I'm getting me a horse this year. I ain't driving my fucking trunk. over here to park because there ain't nowhere to park.
Oh, my God.
Plaza is
A horse, Johnny?
buzzing. Huh?
We getting a horse this year.
Yeah, I'm getting a George. I'm getting a horse. Yeah, good.
All right, man.
Gun and
Well, while everybody else is walking, Johnny will be galloping.
Yeah, I could
and
just see
pulling
Johnny
up,
galloping
what
a
I'm
horse.
saying? But shout out to that Friday nights at the Plaza. But that's what I do enjoy, being a business owner right on the strip, just seeing the amount of people that just come out.
And I've only heard of one act coming, but I heard 303's coming. And 303, that was big. Yeah. 303 out of Denver. That was, when I was in high school, man, that was, you put on 303 and like people's pants came off, man. That was a good band. No, I mean just because they're hot. It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot.
Let's take off all your clothes.
It is
that kind of thing. No. 303. That's sick. So that's super fun. You know what I love about Fridays on the Plaza too? Is it's that what I call the Field of Dreams principle, which is if you build it, they will come. You know what I mean? Because you go walk by downtown Cheyenne and it's always empty, and the Depot Plaza is just a big space. It's a beautiful space, but that's all it is. It's just a big space. You know what I mean? And all they do is they just build the stage right in the center, and they're like, all right.
Showtime.
Who do we got? And then people just crowd around, and you now have a concert. You know what I'm saying?
Also, what I like that they're doing is they're incorporating more locals now.
Yes.
To fill those stages. So I'm excited to see the lineup of the locals that they're going to be putting on these stages for these hour sets.
And that's great. And we talk about this.
And they're paying them too.
Yes. And when we talk about this all the time, but we in Cheyenne are in this amazing position where we've grown enough as a city and to where we can start getting bigger acts, but we're still to a point where we can then take those local acts and give them the opportunity to, open for these big national touring headliners. And it's super sweet. So I'm excited to see who's coming, who's playing, what's up, you know what I mean? But like, I will say, this is how I know I'm getting old, because I'm more excited to see who's coming and go, oh, that's nice, and then stay home and ice my feet than I am go stand outside. Like,
that was a horse too.
That's right. How about can we just all get WyOriginal horses? Listen, anyone out there that owns a horse stable or something, we would love a horse sponsorship so we can just be galloping around.
I prefer to just get behind the horsepower.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, all right. So
shout out to the Nights at the Plaza. Like, that's gonna be great, man.
That's gonna be huge. I like the Fridays on the Plaza because it means that summer is officially trying to get here. So I look forward to it. They will, like Angel said, they'll announce their lineup for this summer. I know, like you said, they dropped a few, but and that's what a good day to drop. You know, my God. Bullets in the Bathtub Murder Mystery Dinner, May 19th at the Red Lion Hotel. If that's your type of thing. Like I used to love, like Angel said, you pretty much gonna play Clue and eat dinner.
Clue.
Huge. I have not been to anything like that, but so I'm gonna see if I can convince the wife to go to it. Maybe we can find a babysitter. I would like to try it out, see what it's like. Bullets in the Bathtub Murder Mystery Dinner, May 19th.
Nice.
Third annual Blue Car Show, June 4th. I love a good car show. It shows me all the cars I can never afford. So I love to go check them out, take some photos from my Instagram, social media thinks I own any one of them.
No, but shout out to these people. Like, honestly, man, I go to some of these, not even go, I pass by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see all these unique old schools, the amount of work that's put into them, how clean they are. I actually checked one out here. What is this? What brewery is this over here with Double Dubs in the back on this side street?
Is it
It's right on the back alley right here. This little brewery right here. They did
Freedom's Edge. Freedom's Edge.
They had one on last summer, and getting some wings, man. And the quality of these vehicles, man. Like, honestly, you think about a car show, you just like there's a bunch of old school cars, but you actually take your time to like look at some and let you see them, man. Man, cars were cool back in the days, man. They actually wanted you to be close to each other. There wasn't that huge center console keeping you in a distance. You could actually put your arm around your lady, ride down the street. I mean, the uniqueness of cars has changed dramatically.
Cars back then were made like it was an internal battle to be different and to like one up the competitor. Now they just hey, this is cheap. And it's cheaply made. No, so I mean, no one's going.
It's more expensive than ever.
There you go.
No, that's a fact. But shout out to these car shows, man, and the people who take pride in having some fly vehicles.
Absolutely. So third annual Blue Car Show, that is June 4th. church announcements. I'll start us off. Act 2 Studios Park Show. We do our park show. It's kind of a preview of our recital in July. That is May 22nd through the 25th at Lions Park. If you got any interest in dance, if you want to come out support, that is May 22nd through the 25th at Lions Park. It's always a good time. You get to sit on the grass, get some sun.
Nice.
All of that, and you get to see some of my local dancers do their thing. So, Angel,
Nice.
what you got?
I don't know. What do I have coming up? Just keeping these haircuts on fire because everybody's gonna need them when they come outside. So yeah, I think that's it for for what we got going on.
Nothing else?
I got a couple things. So May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, I'm heading up to Bighorn County,
Nice.
and they are doing a Cinco de Mayo celebration up there. But what they want to do is they're like bringing families together. There's a School up there, Bighorn County School District number 1. There's a school that that's a K through 12. So literally like kindergarten through high school, and they want to do something special for the parents and the kids, and they really want to focus on mental health and all this stuff. So they are bringing me up there, and I'm going to be doing kind of like a mixture of like a comedy show and some fun acting stuff for mental health practices up there.
Nice.
There's going to be like tacos and all this stuff, and the cool thing is that community is primarily Spanish speaking. So for the first time, I'm going to have a translator with me, doing some of this stuff, and I'm interested in seeing that because I'm interested in seeing like how some of the jokes are going to like translate, from like one way to another, because I'll be honest, like my Spanish, mis español es muy malo. Mis español es marshmallow. You guys,
not marsh.
It's so bad.
I got you.
It's so bad. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can't be an Italian Jew and be that good at Spanish. No, the funny thing is, like, I swear this is true. In high school, my Spanish teacher used to make us speak Spanish to whatever, and like so she'd be like, if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to come ask me in Spanish, and I'd be like, okay, and I'd walk up and I'd go like, yo soy puerta, and she's like, that means I am a door. So I was like, damn it. Like, I was so bad at Spanish. So I'm happy to have a translator.
Do you know how to say that now?
It's ¿Dónde está el baño?
No, that's where is the bathroom.
Okay, what is it?
You need to use the bathroom.
What is it? How do you say it?
Yo tengo usar el baño.
Yo tengo usar el baño?
Like, use the bathroom.
Oh, okay. See? There you go. There you go.
I'm not that good.
I'm
either.
learning.
You know
I'm learning.
I shouldn't be ashamed of myself.
Another true story. I was in LA, and I lived in a primarily Mexican neighborhood that all spoke Spanish and everything, and they were like the nicest people. And I remember when I was moving in, I felt it was late. It was like 1 a.m, and I'm moving all my stuff, and I'm like going up these stairs, and I dropped a bunch of shit that fell down the stairs. It was all loud too. It sounded like a big jazz band. Like I'm like, oh, and I'm freaking out. And my neighbors come out, and it's this like old Mexican family, and they spoke absolutely no English, but they saw I was struggling, and they just picked up the stuff and they just helped me upstairs.
Nice.
No question, no nothing. They just helped me up, and I felt so, I was just so filled with gratitude and all this that I just wanted to say thank you so much. So I went up to him and I said what I thought was thank you, okay, what is thank you? Like, actually thank you in Spanish.
Don't do this right.
Huevo?
Yeah.
Gracias.
Right? Gracias. Yeah.
Gracias.
What I said, I swear, what I said was Feliz cumpleaños.
Birthday.
Which is happy birthday. So they helped me up the stairs. I dropped all this stuff. They helped me up, and then I hugged them and went, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I'm not kidding. I think they thought I was special needs for the rest of the time I lived there, because they're like always helping me with groceries. And like,
wow.
all this stuff.
What a way to showcase yourself.
Yeah,
wow.
man. But the cool thing, in all seriousness, that was a very meaningful moment to me, because it was like, despite language, despite whatever, they could just see I was struggling, and they were like, let us help. I mean, I woke them up from a dead sleep at 1 a.m.
What I like
and
about
instead of freaking out, they helped me.
What I like about
cool.
that whole situation, back to almost bringing up another church announcement, is be a good person.
Be a good person.
You know what I'm saying? Be a
Yo,
good person.
if you see, so Jared's always rocking this "Be a Good Person" hat. He's always rocking "Be a Good Person" clothes. For those of you who don't know, I mean, they're not quite WyOriginal because they're a little down the road. But tell us about this and then why you wear it, because we wanted to talk about that last time, and I'm curious about the story and what it's all about and everything.
So be a good person, and it's one of me and my wife's favorite brand. We put our kids in it and everything, and I'll tell you a story how how it started and how we kind of like use it, to impact negativity. But so be a good person comes from Colorado. You can go down to Denver. They have 2 locations in Denver, and I love their gear. And their slogan is always like the easiest thing, the simplest thing for a human being to do is just be a good person. That's all you got to do. If there's ever any adversity in your life, some stuff that you're going through, if there's one thing that you remember, is just to be a good person. So we was going through some stuff, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds. I don't want to blast the school or the people, but my son was in school. And he had, and I don't think the little girl mean it, but she said some really disparaging stuff towards him, because of his skin color,
Here we go.
And me and my wife were super upset. We were super upset about it, and I'm like, for the first time, I know how to handle racism towards me, I know how to handle racism if it's towards adults and stuff like that. But now I'm the only thing I could think about is I really want to just burn this place to the ground. I want to burn this place to the ground because now this is my kid, But so me and my wife, we talked to the school, we talked to everything, and then we go to pick up that day, and I was like, I don't know what to do because I know I'm gonna see the parent, I know I'm gonna see the parent, and I was like, what kind of message do I want to say? And I had I had this whole speech of things that I wanted to say to these people, and then I had to think about it it's a little girl, even if her parents had some bad ideologies, she's just going off of what she heard, and so literally I put on a Be a Good Person shirt. I put my youngest in a Be a Good Person shirt, my wife. And so we just stood outside of the school, with no malice, because we wanted to understand. Because if you do the things that they accuse you of doing, then you're just proving their point. They're like, look, they're like, see, I told you. So no, we stood out there in our Be a Good Person gear, and just with no malice in our heart, just waited for our kid, and he had on a Be a Good Person shirt that day too, and I hope that our message was got across because it could have turned out a whole lot different. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I wanted people to know was we are good people, and I wanted you to be a good person.
That's a fact. Shout out to that, man. Being a good person.
So hopefully a WyOriginal collab coming with them soon. It will be, to me, that would be the biggest thing for us though. But more to come on that. So
yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, it's out of Denver, right? The guy who does it is out of Denver. He created it back in 2016.
Nice,
right? And all this.
Yeah,
so
I learned about it when Jared was getting cut one time, and he was telling me about be a good person. And somebody actually put a sticker on my window.
That's right.
And I was like, oh, shit, I think this is what you're talking about. Somebody put a sticker. I guess they were giving me a message too, but it was cool.
Yeah.
And then I just like the whole purpose of it, be a good person. I feel like it costs nothing to be an asshole. It costs nothing to be nice.
Right.
So if you had your choice of giving, which one should it be?
Well, yeah, and it kind of goes. I always get on this soapbox. I feel like this is it's time for Dom's soapbox at least once an episode where I talk about the same shit. But
Dom's soapbox.
But you know what?
Well, actually, it's funny.
Consistency.
This is actually a thing. A soapbox. The reason it's called a soapbox is because back in the day when someone wanted to give a speech, they'd stand on a soapbox so they could be it's like a little mini stage to get up above everybody. So Dom needs a soapbox just so he can be eye level with all you people because I'm 3 feet tall. So anyway, I go like this. Here's the thing, man. We see some. We were talking about the phones earlier, right? And how YouTube and stuff like that can connect us because if you got knowledge, you can share that knowledge and then everybody's got access to that knowledge. But here's the thing. If you have hate, if you have bigotry, if you have anything like that, and you put it out there, then everybody gets, a little bit of that as well, right? Everybody has immediate access to that. Now, I talk about this all the time, but it's true. Look up the statistics. Statistically speaking, we are living in the safest time. Crime is lower than it's ever been. right? Violent crime's lower than it's ever been. I mean, ever. Like we have quicker access to medicine. We have quicker access to all this stuff. But and also with like violent crime, another thing. Check it out, y'all. Theft, burglary, assault. 90% of the cases happen with someone you know, not strangers. Literally, that's just the facts of how it is. If you're going to be assaulted, there's a higher likelihood that you're going to be assaulted by somebody you know that's within the circle you run in than some stranger, some whatever. There's a forewarning. Yeah, exactly. Johnny! No. No, but the point is this, is that like one of the things that makes me most sad in the world is that there's so much bad news. Like you pick this up and it just immediately shoots the bad news to you instantaneously, right? To where like, but the anomaly is if you turn off your phone and go outside and talk to your neighbors and go to an event and chill and do something you love, the world's actually beautiful. Like the world's more beautiful than it's ever been, you know, but it's just that we get all the bad stuff immediately streamlined to us in an instant on a daily basis. And that's just all they shine the light on. So my analogy is, it's like with the world being as beautiful as it is and with everything being as good as it is, but we only see the bad stuff. It's like, imagine the most beautiful person in the entire world, like the most beautiful person who's ever lived, but the only videos or photographs you get of that person is from their colonoscopy. You know what I mean? Like that's all you see. So you don't get to see how good looking they are. You don't get to see how wonderful they are as a person. You don't get to see their wonderful personality. All you see is the shit and the blood and the bile and like all that stuff, right? But anyway, I say all that to just say that like, especially in these times when we get essentially like just bad news right to the bloodstream, like immediately with all this stuff. I don't know that when somebody just gives that random act of kindness, I don't know that it's ever felt better. You know what I mean? No, like when someone's just like kind to be kind or helpful to be helpful. Here's the last thing I'll say about it. You know, everybody's always talking about anti-violence, anti-terrorism, all this stuff, right? If you want to be anti-violent or anti-terrorist, you got to do the opposite of violence and terror, which is be loving, be kind, be helpful. And by doing that, that's you being actively anti all of the problems in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's an absolute correct way to put that. Not just being on your soapbox. It's the truth, though. I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, legit. If I've been watching some videos, these act of kindness videos for the day, like something you just do, like an act of kindness to just give back some good energy to the universe. You know, spreading like love, right? How many people actually put that into perspective to even try to do that at all? Well, you know what I mean? Like, open the door, hold the door for somebody, say hello to somebody. Like, neighbors don't even want to say hello no more.
And it should be second nature. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to be nice. I just want to go about my day and be nice. And before we get off the subject, and in saying that, like, I want to just highlight, when I think of like people that be a good person, and I know sometimes he gets a bad rap, and I know we talked about this last summer, but I don't think I understand how much Angel does for for this community. Like I don't think y'all understand like how much he does. And you've been here since what? I know Angel since what, like 2010, 2000.
Yeah, that's when I landed 09. 09 December 4th. I started at the Trujillo's barbershop.
Yeah. And he's been a staple in this community since. And when I remember when he moved to this spot, right here off of Lincoln Way, he said he felt like he was almost obligated because now he's so impactful in the community, and this spot is so in the middle of the community that he has to do something for the community. He didn't take it as just, I'm in a prime location, what you gonna do about it? He was like, I want to give back. And then you started the We Got Your Back program.
We got your back.
You know, and I went to that this summer. I went to that this summer, man. And how many barbers and beauticians did you have?
Oh man. Honestly, man, it was the second year, and I don't know. I guess you are right. Like when you giving back, right? You see like this vision way beyond yourself, way beyond like anything that you're looking for back, right?
Ray
Like,
Charles.
anything you want back out of this, right? And you're trying to not try because we don't try, we always do.
We do.
But the doing effort of executing this potential effort to eventually not just be a seed no more. Now it's grown into this beautiful flower, this tree of life. And it's like, man, I got to get out there to my community.
Yeah.
And we got to do this. And how do I not just convince, but empower them to believe that they're doing it better than me?
That's right. Well, and for anybody who hasn't seen or doesn't know, tell them about the We Got Your Back program because it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing.
I believe it's great. Just, definitely great. My whole goal for the We Got Your Back and the goal for everyone that was a part of it with the We Got Your Back was for the children. You know what I mean? And it was for a way of support to the child going back to school.
Yeah.
And for me, a haircut is like a game changer.
It's huge.
It's a game changer in anyone's life. So for a kid to have the support of knowing he's going back to school fresh, he gets a backpack full of supplies. He's gonna have some food. There's been people giving away sneakers,
there was sneakers and clothes.
You know, we got Lolly out there with her whole crew doing braids, twist on the girls and the gentlemen. Got multiple barbershops, beauty shops coming together, and everybody just lining up. And you know, to have these kids know that, wow, we're gonna eat today.
Yeah.
We're about to play some putt-putt. We're gonna play some games. And because this one was at the Iceland Event Center. And the whole goal was just to let these children know your community wants to see you succeed.
And
before you go to school, you're gonna have all this access and all this love and support to wake up that morning and say, I'm going to school today.
See, and this is my thing, man, is that, first of all, when you told me the name, I was like, that's so perfect. Because, like, when you told me, you're like, look, you're like, we're going to get anybody who needs a backpack, we're going to fill it full of supplies so that they have everything they need, and we're calling it We Got Your Back. And I was like, well, that's brilliant. And then and then on top of that, like you said, shoes, haircuts, anything you need. But here's the cool thing, man. And just to give you some flowers real quick. Like, you're a business owner in town. You run a successful business. It's a great shop. It's an amazing thing. It's your love. It's your passion. And for most people, just to achieve that alone that's like it. Like, I did it. I made it. American dream fulfilled. I do what I love and I'm successful at it. But then for you to be like, all right, I'm going to give back. And not because anybody's making me, not because I want to look good, not just because you recognize that there's people in need and you can help them and you do a cool thing to do it. I love it. Now, it all goes back to this, man. There was a song I heard and it just blew my mind. And what it says, like the line in the song is that love is a verb, right? As in it's an action word. Yeah. Right? It's not, love is not like a feeling. It's not a concept. It's none of that. It's an action. Like, you have to get to it. It's not something you want or whatever. And when I heard that, man, that changed everything. That changed the way I parented. That changed the way I thought about life. But that also changed the way you interact with the community. Because, like I said, again, like, yeah, there's hate in the world. Yeah, there's bad shit going on. Yeah, there's whatever. And you can either sit back and do nothing and complain about it, or you can get active and give the antidote, which is, how do we love for people? How do we care for people? How do we help them? And that's exactly what you've done, and that's what you're doing with that program, man. It's amazing. It's incredible.
I think it is too, man. I actually look forward to it, and coming into this third year, it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. We're gonna get a lot more information. You know what I mean? I appreciate the conversation as far as you guys understanding that this is it's just an effort to just make people come together and, like, know who your neighbors are, right? Like, we all in this together, right? Your kid's going to school with my kid. Yeah. I got no reason to have a problem. Like, our community's strong because we believe that, right? Yeah. So when we have their back, we're actually changing our lives too, because we're getting to know who we are. So I see so much happen, and it's only the second year's happened. We're going into the third year. And just for everyone to take a moment of, it's not about me. Right. It's about we. And we actually do this together and get it done, and we see our future grow from this, we are their leaders. There you go. So I just think that this program has a solid way of these children. One day, who knows? We get to whatever anniversary we get to, and one of these kids who was inspired by getting that backpack, that haircut, it changed his life where he's now helping run the success of We Got Your Back. So that's the bigger dream I see for us.
But now, when I was knowing Angel before all this, he was a different world that out of there, when anybody else could see him from a distance. And he see the kids need what they want to this to what they want. He ain't doing none of that. He wants to look further than that. He want them when they open their eyes and next day, you look brighter than you did before yesterday. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And when you get a haircut and clear your hair up, you'll change your mind and your thoughts.
It's a fact.
I mean, to this day, you know, and I joke every time I get my haircut. Every time I get my haircut and I'm done, I'm like, "Yep, now my wife's gonna love me again." Like, just a simple haircut can literally change your perspective on thing. I'm telling you, man.
And honestly, that's what the beginning experience of We Got Your Back was for, to change the kids to feel like that, you know, everyone grows up different. But to know, like, I'm going to school and I'm fresh like everyone else who's going to be fresh, and have that same confidence walking in that door like they're going to make it too. So shout out to everybody who's a part of that. I will have more details on where, when, how you could be a volunteer, how you could be a sponsor, and also what we're going to need, and a list of names of thank yous to the people who constantly support. But great way to bring that up, because we're getting close.
Absolutely.
Be a good person, man.
Be a good person. Just be a good person. That's all you got to do. Before I tell the viewers how wrong I was.
Yes. I'm gonna be humble about it. I'm gonna let you just slowly, very slowly choose the correct words this time, and a little more analytic.
See, that makes me not want to even
be a critic. That rhymes. Analytic. Don't be a critic.
We just did 10 whole minutes. We just did 10 whole minutes on be a good person. And
I'm being a very good person because I'm about to
stab Jared and then turn the knife real slowly and be like, I'm just gonna let this sink out. I'm just gonna let you feel this for a second. I'm just gonna,
I still got to be humble because we haven't got there yet. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk, man.
A lot more basketball to be played, but
yes.
LeBron and the Lakers, they did what I thought they couldn't do.
Let's go.
And they,
he is the king.
You know what's funny to me, man? Like, I went to this game. I watched the Grizzlies play. My son likes John Morant, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be an ass whooping," and it was, but for the Grizzlies, because the Lakers came in and LeBron and his team did what they need to do, and I lost so much respect for Dylan Brooks, bro.
Shout out to Dylan
I
Brooks for poking bears when it was really a lion.
He said so. Dylan Brooks, I know Dom don't like quite keep up on the sports. So Dylan Brooks basically, after the game 2 win against the Lakers, huge win. He got interviewed by the media. He said they was like, "Well, how did you go in this to play LeBron?" He said, "I don't fear old people." He was like, I have no respect for him until he drops 40 on me. He goes, unless he drops 40 on me, he goes, I have no respect. He goes, I poke bears. That's what he said about LeBron James. And then
no. You're being a little mild how you're doing that.
Maybe.
The way he actually did it was, he thought he was really cool, chilling with his millionaire Louis Vuitton glasses on after the game, all sharp, looking fresh like he makes millions. And, I don't fear nobody. You don't score 40 on me, I'll poke bears.
That's what he said. So
you're really cool right now, bro. You're really cool. Like, you realize we're in the beginning parts of the series. We haven't even got to the middle yet. And you're that confident.
And if they play yet, what'd LeBron do? What was the retaliation?
We took your series. We took you out of your place. We displaced y'all. In the last game, what did they win by 40?
They won by 40.
Won by 40. They won by 40. You won 40. We beat you by 40.
No, look, this is the thing, man.
Let's go.
Look.
Let's go, man.
Look, you're right. Like I still love like basketball is my favorite sport. I watch all the highlights, but the thing is I'm obsessed with like people of greatness and trying to figure out their mindset. And love him or hate him, you cannot deny LeBron's greatness. Yes. You can't deny it. You can hate him all you want, but you cannot deny what he's done. And this is the thing. It doesn't matter if it was LeBron. It doesn't matter if it was Kobe. It doesn't matter if it was Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson. Like, anybody who's ever achieved anything has never been by accident. There's like three main things. One, there's an obsession to what they do about it, right? Like there's an obsession about their work ethic. That's number one. Number two, there's an obsession about their mindset. And here's the thing that people always mess up. They're competitive. You know what I mean? So like if you go back and watch those like there's that documentary, man, that The Last Dance, you know? And all I knew about that is thank God Michael Jordan had a basketball and not a knife, because he would have been a serial murderer. That dude was a sociopath. He'd be like, the news said that this guy was on my level, so I had to destroy him. You know, like that was the whole thing. And LeBron's the same way, man. That doesn't go out. The thing is you're gonna go to this dude. It's almost like, you know what I bet happened? Here's what I bet happened. Okay. Here's what I bet happened. I bet Anthony Davis went behind the scenes to this dude and was like, yo, man, I'll buy you some Louis Vuitton glasses and I'll give you some money. Just say that LeBron's old and can't do it anymore. You know, like paying him so that he says it, so LeBron goes into beast mode and just tears it all up. That's the only way that makes sense.
I just feel like
I feel like this.
Go ahead,
Johnny. You know, most serial killers don't eat cereal.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, they probably don't.
Next,
but I just feel like I mean,
sorry. I'm sorry. I love how Johnny came in and he's like, listen, I have something very important to add.
We need to hear this.
Serial killers don't eat cereal. Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, because I just noticed, I mean, I wish we could just pull up the clip from last podcast, because it's very calm and quiet right now, bro.
Look, all I know,
it's like more humbling now.
It is. And look, like I said last, I'm not a LeBron hater. I do not hate LeBron. As a basketball player and as a person, I think he's a great individual. You know, my opinion is he's the second greatest behind Michael Jordan. That's not hate, just to be second behind Michael Jordan.
No.
But I did not think going into this series and going into, I mean, these playoffs, man, the Lakers looked gassed. AD was hurt. You know, they just made these last minute trades of some B-list players, you know, but I'll be honest, it's coming. I don't know who they play in the second. Oh, they play whoever the Kings.
They play. It's going to be the Kings and the
Warriors.
This is the thing, Jared. It doesn't matter who they play.
Okay,
we are in the playoffs. This is not like, this is my thing. 1, 2, 3, all these numbers in front of the team. So it does not matter. You had to get placed, so we have a reason to put a bracket together. It does not matter who we play.
So now I
bring it.
He's making me pick. Now I have to pick a side. You have to pick a side.
You have to be in it. So who are you going with? The opposites?
Sorry, everybody. Welcome to Family Therapy with Jared and Angel Basketball Edition.
We knew this was going to be heated. We knew this. But when LeBron puts the trophy over his head once again this year,
I'll throw up.
It's going to be real.
I will literally throw up.
And, you know, it just I was in the shop yesterday, right? So we're talking, one of my clients, you know, out of nowhere, everyone's having a great time. And then he brings up LeBron. And he's a Laker fan. And just the hate. So I'm like, is there anything good you could say about LeBron? So he was like, yeah, actually, he's a good father and a businessman.
Legit.
No basketball.
Which is crazy. Which is absurd.
Like, and that's what I'm getting to. Like, you know, let's get this man his props. He's still here, because when he's gone, there's some young guys in the league. But when he's gone, then we're going to have that moment of like, man, LeBron was good.
It's a big gap at the
You see what I'm saying? So who you got?
Can I ask you one question?
If it's here's my
Okay.
prediction, because
Let's go, man.
so if I don't know who's gonna win this, I don't know if it's the Warriors or it's the Kings. They match up well against each other. So right now, that's a really good. If the Kings win, LeBron and the Lakers are gonna destroy them because they're too young.
Thank you for being so kind.
If the Warriors win, that's a toss up. I might have to give it to the
The
Warriors.
problem with it is bench play. That's the problem.
Can I ask you a question? What about the Nuggets chickens?
I can't put too much
Oh,
faith
no.
in the Nuggets. I honestly, I know they destroyed the Suns the other night, but I still think that the Suns might walk away with that series. So I don't know.
Either way, I'm just excited because the King is doing what he does. I like LeBron. And my New York Knicks,
Knicks.
I'm just saying, man, you know, we know that it's been such a steady path of patience and more patience and more patience, and we're there.
The Knicks
And we're
The
advancing.
Knicks advanced past the first round.
So now what do you say?
First time in 16 years.
Come on, baby.
And that's Dom's fault.
Come on. No, Dom did
You
a
got-
great thing.
you
Dom
got-
put it. He said when Spike goes to the games, and I think Dom got us to the second round. Dominici got us to the second round.
I'm telling you,
He got us there.
all the love to the Knicks. Like honestly, that's super exciting. This is my only thing, right? Is that just going back to the LeBron thing real quick? Like
Yeah.
it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, right? About you know you made it when you, because here's how it goes. People get on your back, like they have your back when you're up and coming. Right? And then when you're number one, they love to be like, yo, you're the best, this, right? And then once you stay the best for too long, it's got like this diminishing return where people just start hating you for being the
Villain
best.
status.
Right? Like they're just like, that's so annoying, we're over it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, as far as predictions go, look, if it's LA and Golden State, you know, going up, this is my thing. Every generation of basketball has its great rivalries, right?
Yes, always.
You had the Lakers and the Celtics, you know, and then you get into the 90s, it was like Bulls Pistons, and then it was Bulls Jazz, right? And then you get into like the 2000s, and it was like Kobe's Lakers and the Spurs. It's like those two were always the ones in the playoffs. Like one of those two were always playing against each other, you know, and now, but here's another way that LeBron's kind of changed the game, is that it seems like in the past decade, it's just been the Golden State Warriors and whatever team LeBron's on.
That's it. That's what
You know what I
gotta
mean?
agree.
So it's not a franchise. It's not.
gotta
I
agree.
can't say that it's the Golden State Warriors and the Cavs, or the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat, or the Golden State Warriors. It's the Golden State Warriors versus LeBron James.
And because you say that, see that? Like look at that. Them, whoever they are, Golden State is them, right? Yeah. And the King.
because the King keeps creating teams everywhere he goes.
But you know,
It's hard to. It's, you know,
I mean, you know, shout out to the Boston Celtics back in the days who brought everyone together, and the NBA allowed it to win that first championship.
They were
when you
50
build,
years old.
see how there's always a reason to say because of this. It can't just be, yeah, you're right. That is true, regardless of how old or when it happened. That is the beginning of the, you know, the era of creating dynamic teams, and then LeBron gets all the love for it.
I can't
because
remember. Hold on.
he said, you know what? Well, if we're doing it like that, I'm only assuming right now.
I can't remember the year LeBron got drafted. I'm not gonna sit here and make up the
Out of high school, by the way.
Out of high school, there were 5 players that was in the top 5, right?
Wasn't it 03?
Is it 03? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was-
But out of high school,
Here's
one
my
of the
point.
last.
Here's my point. There were the top 5 draft picks. One was LeBron James. One was Dwayne Wade. One was Chris Bosh. They played on a team together in Miami. You brought the 3 of the top 5 in your draft in your draft class together on one team, and I'm supposed to be shocked that you won a championship?
Yes.
All right, look. I actually use this as an analogy in my when I do like team building training for people, is that I actually say I don't want any LeBron Jameses in here. And what I mean by that, is that you know, you can't have a one man team. You know what I mean? And like, here's the thing. I go back to this, the finals that sticks in my head, and I feel for LeBron James. I think the reason there's a lot of reasons to villainize him. I get that. But I felt so bad for him, man. I think it was in 2016 or whatever it was, 17, when he went up against Golden State. And LeBron James on the Cavs, there was like jokes, right? Like Saturday Night Live did this great sketch about the other Cavs that season. You remember that? And it was like, hi, I'm the guy who picks up LeBron's dry cleaning. Like it was just because and you want to talk about a one-man team. LeBron James in that finals broke the record for most points scored in a finals game. Dude scored like 51 or 52 points in a finals game. No one's ever done that before. And they lost. They lost because he was doing all the work. Now, you have to be great in order to do that. But
yes.
I'm sorry, individual greatness, which you can't deny on him, is nothing when it comes to a team that can play together, man. Another meme that I thought was so funny was they redid that scene from 8 Mile where Eminem is like telling his daughter to go inside. He's like, go inside, honey. And like this gang of dudes comes out of a car and beats him up. Only they superimpose LeBron James' face on Eminem, and it was all the Golden State Warriors. And he's like, go inside, honey, go inside. Daddy's got to be out here, So that's the thing, is that like the individual greatness is always there. But I mean, look, I think Michael Jordan was amazing, and he had more of a storybook career, but he also had an unbelievable team. I mean, they say that Charles Barkley is the greatest player to never win an NBA championship, right? Definitely. They say he's the best. And I remember they were talking to him, and it was like this Oprah interview with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, and Oprah kind of says something like that. Well, what do you have to say? Who do you think's better? And Michael Jordan's like, well, 6 rings speaks for itself. And Charles Barkley goes, I would have 6 rings too if I had Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean? So the team has something to do with it, is my point.
Not to get all locked up in it, because it is what it is. But it's just how you said it. So I know it can't just be an individual, but it's true. LeBron's been locking things up for a long time.
He's a beast, man.
He's still a relevant guy. I mean, from what you look at from the outside looking in, you're not there knowing these things, but taking care of himself, respecting the NBA as a position holder in it.
Never been controversy behind
holding
LeBron
it
James.
Down to a level like this. And it's just great to see this happening, right? Because if this is truly his closing out to his last dance, I want to see it to the highest level.
20
like
years.
You just said, on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Can you look at that little spot here on the top? You see it in, and see her accent. Can you look in there?
LeBron, I know a good barber if you ready.
But look, man, if there's ever an opportunity where I can help the king, of course I'll do it.
No, even basketball aside, there got to be something to say. Like Michael Jordan, to go through social media area. LeBron James, 20 years in the NBA, married to the same woman, not one lick of drama in the social media area.
Dynamic.
That alone puts him past a lot of people. But,
so and then
ignoring Space Jam, not including Space Jam.
That was controversial.
We won't say
it's
ignoring Space Jam.
It's all good. So I want them Knicks to get up in there. I'm glad to see them moving. Lakers all the way. But what really was going crazy was we got on a jet and then Aaron Rodgers showed up.
That's right.
The Jets. Bricks.
That was pretty wild. They got on a jet and they got Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers that moved on to the Jets. God,
the green.
I literally for a guy who spent his whole career saying that he's better than Brett Favre. God, he is following his career path to a T.
I mean,
to a T.
I like the move.
No breaks.
I think it's amazing to just watch how this is about to play out. You know what I mean? How it's about to play out.
Are they going to be good?
Man,
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a buck since the Bucks are out. Aaron Rodgers is about to make some noise over there with the Jets. They have a great staff of coaching. They did very well in the draft. They have an amazing amount of players.
What's make some noise? Because you still got Patrick Mahomes, you got Joe Burrow, you got Josh Allen.
But listen. I know there's a lot of things in the way.
Say it again.
A lot of things.
But Jets, at the end of the day, the Jets were not bad last year. Their only issue they had was quarterback.
But is that enough to get over the 4 or 5 teams?
Have you seen the defense? You seen the defense?
I've watched the NFL just like everybody else, and I've been watching this like new pattern of great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Going to a franchise and immediately winning.
Stafford
because you have
And don't they look green?
Stafford.
Doesn't
You
look
said with the
green?
Rams.
Yep.
Brady left the
Brady.
Patriots and immediately, and this is like an Aaron Rodgers type of vibe right now, right? Immediately wins a championship.
Yo, Peyton Manning with the Broncos.
Pay him. I mean, I'm just saying this new wave of what I'm watching with these veterans. I think it's going to be good. I think we're going to have a great situation with it.
Russell Wilson with the Broncos. Oh, that's too soon. Sorry, guys.
I'm not hating, but things got to happen. But what I am happy about, since we all quarterbacks, and shout out to Aaron Rodgers for making a great move. I think this is a great way to keep him vibrant and his energy flourishing to his retirement.
He's just saying that because it's a New York team.
But no, I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Giants fan all the way. But shout out to Aaron Rodgers for going to the Jets. But and also shout out to Lamar for being his own agent and finally getting what he deserves.
Lamar Jackson got the bank.
And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the Ravens. And I just feel like, you got to thug your way in this thing. And I think when I look at the Baltimore Ravens, they're like the thugs of the league. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly
like, seriously, I feel like they're the thugs of the league, and he did a great job being his own guy and got all his money.
Nope, that's how they treat the Ravens. I think it was the whole Ray Lewis and that whole deal. And I still don't know like the details of that story. But like Ray Lewis like killed people and then they still let him play. Like how badass you gotta be.
That was pretty wild. I mean, it looked like he was killing the offense when he was out there anyway.
Absolutely, man.
But shout out to Lamar for getting his money, man.
Sorry, there's this great stand-up bit, man, where it's I'm not gonna get into details. It's very insensitive, but like when it's like essentially them talking about like football players getting in trouble behind the scenes for being violent, and he's like, what do you expect? He's like, from the time they're 12 years old, you're like, kill, and then like, oh shit, I footballed when I was supposed to person. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to football in public. I'm sorry. Like they've got that instinct. But dude, especially linebackers, man. Like you look at any linebacker, if you listen to them in any interview, it's just like Michael Jordan with a basketball. It is a good thing. You're like, all right. I think every linebacker should be brought out on the field like Hannibal Lecter style in like a straight jacket with like a mask, and then like they come out and then just take their face mask off and everything, and then they're ready to play. That you want to talk about intimidating another team? Have your linebackers come out with like a full on like security SWAT team guarding them. Oh, that would do it.
What's the movie with Adam Sandler?
I know what you're talking about.
The football.
The football where they play football in jail. That's the longest yard. There you go. Just do it like that. We got far in the weeds on sports, but before we wrap up, it's funny. It didn't make it on my list of things, but rest in peace to Jerry Springer, man. Like that was a huge, a big deal for me. I remember it's funny. Someone put on social media is like, man, he was always there when I was homesick from school. Because it's legit. You stay home from school and the either you're watching soap operas with your mother or you're watching Jerry Springer.
And his bodyguard Steve, making sure everybody didn't hurt each other on the stage.
Absolutely. Go back as adults and watch some of his episodes, and you realize how absurd that show was. And I have no idea how it was on TV for so long. Yeah. Like some of the stuff was so stupid. Like, hey, honey, I came to tell you that I'm black. What? What? Don't touch me.
No,
and the whole crowd.
Look, Jerry. No, listen. You know what I want? Jerry. No, seriously. This is what I want you to do. Anybody who makes the mistake of going like, oh, this world's going to hell and everybody's crazy and boys are dressing up like girls and go back and watch Jerry Springer.
That was a wild show.
I'm saying from like the 1980s, dude. Like, listen, the first time I ever saw like, just crazy stuff was not with modern day social media. All right. It was Jerry Springer. And it was always like the craziest twists. It was like, I have to tell you something. I'm having sex with your father, who's also your brother, who also killed your daughter. And it's just Jerry in the back just going like, well, how do you feel about that? I mean, and then he always did the motivational endings. Like, you remember that? It's like seriously, it's like,
on the real.
So when your sister's
transmission.
banging the mailman, remember, it's like the kindest, and he always ended his shows with "Be kind to one another."
Be kind.
You remember
As
that was
rowdy
like
as it
his
was.
thing.
Please be nice.
That's it. It's almost like if you like in Venice Beach, it was called Freak Beach, and they had like the freak show. And it was really cool. It was like people like stuffing their foot down their mouth and like setting themselves on fire and shit. And it's like somebody went here and was like, "What happens if we mix this with Oprah?" I think that was the pitch for Jerry Springer. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't mess around with no transmissions and none of that. But I'm not told backwards to that. Because we're going to the world that has to be more than has to be more. Okay?
That's a fact. You know what I mean? So shout out to Johnny for understanding that the world has to be more. And everyone's included in
And
it.
he don't like transmissions. So
Yeah. Even though he needs us to get back and forth to the grocery store, the commissary,
no
KFC.
transmissions.
Yeah, no transmissions.
No
but anyway,
transmissions. Anyway,
Laughing so much, good laugh. You heard me. Hurt me.
y'all got anything else y'all want to cover before we wrap this thing up? I think that's a great ending. I don't, If we titling this podcast, the title's gonna be "No Transmissions."
no transmissions, man. Well, as always, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure to come out here, get this podcast, this great crew together. Dominic Syracuse, Jared Bird, myself, Angel Maldonado, Johnny Campbell, and keep bringing you this great news, even things that surprise us that we find. And just a pleasure to have you always giving us the support to keep on going. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you for
listening. And it'll be a pleasure
y'all.
to see you guys in 2 weeks.
Catholic.
2 weeks. We'll see you.
Jeez. I'm never gonna have to worry about transmissions no more. No more transmissions, brother. Yeah, that's a little interesting, man.
Thanks, Gerard. Nietzsche.